welcome to Funguy Kitchen. I'm Funguy The Entertainer, and of course today we're cooking for you, and we have our first official guest appearance, people. We have, go over this camera here, we have Ron and Lynn. They were gracious enough to buy the package at the Smiles auction, which was a fundraiser. I donated 3 different packages to 3 different fundraising type organizations. This one was Smiles. Smiles is it's a horse farm, and they help disabled or handicapped people learn how to ride horses and enjoy the experience of riding horses. Because I don't know if you've ever done it, but riding horses is just absolutely fantastic. If all you've ever done is been on a merry-go-round carousel, you need to find a real horse. Trust me on this. Anywho, today what we're going to do, you've already seen me do the ribs, so I started them earlier today. We are going to do garlic Parmesan Redskin potatoes. But we're serving an entire meal. We're going to have my barbecue oven baked ribs, sweet corn, and the potatoes. So let's get right to it. We'll go over to this here. I have our Redskin potatoes. I washed them earlier. It's actually a pretty simple process here. Oops. We've been making some changes to our kitchen to make more room. All you have to do is, if you use the smaller potatoes like this, you just cut them in half. And you place them, I'm sorry, you don't place them in the pan, you put them in the bowl. See, I'm getting ahead of myself. I do this frequently. That's something you don't know, but I get carried away with what I'm doing, and I forget some of the simple stuff. So start with a bowl, pour olive oil in it. I've got probably 1/4 cup of olive oil. Then add your seasoning. You're gonna want 1 teaspoon, or excuse me, tablespoon of salt. 1 tablespoon of onion powder. I just realized I'm out of the camera here. There we go. That's the other thing. I haven't gotten enough subscribers to make money, so I'm not able to hire somebody to do the camera work, so I do all my own camera work. But we're getting there. And 1 tablespoon of pepper. And for those of you who've been watching the show, you know I prefer wet garlic versus dry garlic. Sometimes dry garlic's fine, but in this particular recipe, you want the wet. I don't measure it, but you know how much I like garlic, so I've got a pretty good amount in here. And then I'm going to pour a little bit more olive oil right on top to mix it in. And we'll grab our spoon, give it a good stir. You want the garlic and the seasoning to all blend together. All right. Now, actually, let's put this here. You cut your potatoes, put them right in the mix. Not too difficult. There's a couple bigger ones in here that I'm going to cut into 3 or 4 pieces. Even though this one was really small, you still got to cut it in half because you need a flat side in order for the seasoning to work properly. As you can see, this is not difficult.
So how many potatoes do you figure per person?
Well, the average recipe is about 2 pounds of these little small potatoes. I'm going to do 4 pounds because we're feeding 5 people. So, do 3 more little ones. We'll save these just in case I need them, but I think this should be enough right here. This is about 4 pounds because I have a 5-pound bag. And then you just stir them all up, mix them up, make sure they get a good coating. Oh, see that? Nice coating. All right. Literally put it dead smack in the middle of the pan. Grab a spatula. Get everything out of the bowl. Don't want to waste it. And then you spread it around. It looks like there's enough room and I could add a couple more potatoes. So, since I have a pile of goo in the middle, I don't have to worry about them getting coated the way we did the other ones. I'll just stick them right in there. There we go. See that? Pretty easy. Okay. Make sure they're all separated. I mean, they can be touching, but don't, keep the faces together. Once you get everything in your pan, grab your aluminum foil, which for some strange reason I put away. You want to cover these because you want the moisture to help cook the potatoes. We're going to change the temperature on the oven to 400 degrees. I've been slow cooking these ribs at 225 degrees for 4 hours already. Actually, 4 hours and 15 minutes already. So now we just jacked it up to 400. What we're going to do is swap the potatoes out with the ribs. And then the ribs, we'll check them, see how they're looking, and then we'll finish them off when this is about halfway done. The amount of time that we're going to have this in the oven is about 40 minutes at 400 degrees. So I've got my timer over there. Let me just grab my glove. We'll pull the ribs out. Yep, I should have used 2 hands. I did not, so I made a mess. There we go. But if you don't make a mess in the kitchen, you're not doing a good job. All right, let me turn the timer on. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set the timer for 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna stir it up and do it all over again. There we go, 20 minutes. That's it. I've got the corn there. You don't need to see me shuck corn. We'll come back in a little bit and we'll let you see how the potatoes are looking. See you in a bit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am back. We are getting there. I just got our water ready because the rest of dinner will be done in about 20 minutes. The timer's about ready to go off, so I've got water. I've got my sugar in the water for your sweet corn. Do not put salt in the water for sweet corn. It toughens the corn. Sugar makes the kernel soft and tender like a baby's bottom. So when you bite into it, you get all the flavor instead of having, that hard chewiness to it. So I've got the pot ready to go here. I just turned the water on. The ribs look fantastic. Just wait till you see this. These literally cooked for over 4 hours. You see how tender this is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put this in the oven at the higher temperature for the same 20 minutes as the rest of the potatoes, and that'll put a nice crispier coating on the top of our brown sugar dry rub that we put on here. Otherwise it's just be a little bit too mushy, and even though some people like it really mushy, ribs should have a little bit of a bite to it. Otherwise you could put all your food in the blender. All right. 3 racks of ribs.
3 racks of ribs.
Yes, because I figure half a rack for each of us. Makes sense, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna put this in the oven, and then we'll pull out potatoes. You can hear them sizzling, I'm sure. See how this looks. Remember, try not to ruin the foil because we're going to put it back on. This looks fantastic. Okay. Stir them around a little bit more. I like trying to get, for the last half, I like trying to get the faces to be down. It doesn't really matter on the first half, but the second half, it helps. See, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Yes, I have cooked these on the grill before. Every once in a while, like, really, we've had good weather for grilling, except for the storms. And of course, the mosquitoes have been pretty bad this year. All right, see, now everything's face down. You see that the garlic and the oil is still in here. Everything looks good. So we're going to put the foil back on. The whole purpose of the foil is to keep the moisture in to help cook the potatoes without drying them up. All right, and of course, as you may have noticed earlier when I pulled the ribs out, I only had one glove on. Not smart, since I had 3 racks of ribs on there. I ended up spilling stuff all over the place. Very messy. So remember, be safe, wear both gloves. All right, that's in there. The water's coming to a boil. We'll reset the timer for 20 more minutes. There it goes. And we'll come back when this is all done. Okay, here we go. Timer's about ready to go off. I'm gonna pull the potatoes out of the oven. We're gonna stir them one more time. We're gonna put the Parmesan cheese on them, put them back in the oven for 10 minutes to let the Parmesan cheese melt on the potatoes. And the corn is about ready to go in, so everything's gonna happen really fast here. We're gonna keep this running. I want to thank Lynn and Ron for stopping in today. This is our first people coming. Yay! Thank you for coming. Now, the cool thing is they're gonna eat all this food, and what I'm going to have them do is watch the show that they're in and comment, yes, we're still alive after eating this food, because nobody's ever done that before. So, all right, let's pull the potatoes out. Oh yeah, the ribs look really good too. See that? I'm good on my timing. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, tasty, tasty. Okay, now we're going to, it looks like I'm going to have to use a spatula to turn these because they stuck to the aluminum foil, which is actually kind of unusual, especially with the amount of olive oil I have in here. Oh, look at how delicious these look. Okay. I think what the problem is I had these on the lower shelf instead of the upper shelf, so there was too much heat, and that's why they stuck. So if you have the option to have upper or lower in your oven when you're doing this, choose the upper and they probably won't stick. But these do look good. Okay. Looks like this one end was hotter than the other end. That's kind of strange. I'm going to have to have my oven tested. Well, that could be also. Well, part of the problem is we know we had our kitchen redone a few years ago, and when they were doing it, they noticed that the house was not level. They did their best. They said this is the best we can do. It's not perfect, but it's better. So needless to say, liquids have a tendency to go to one end of the pan all the time. So, all right, that's close enough. Now we have our Parmesan cheese. Oops, yeah, I'm making a mess. As you notice, for those of you who've been watching my show for a while, I'm really good at making a mess. All right, we just pour the Parmesan cheese right on top of the potatoes. No set amount, it's just your personal preference. Okay, now we're going to put this back in for 10 more minutes. I'm gonna pull the ribs out because they are done. I don't need 2 hands this time because I drained off the extra juice before. All right, and we're gonna set the timer for 10 minutes. The corn is about ready. Since we're only going 10 minutes on this, you can drop your corn in now. Here's our 10 minutes. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Looks like not gonna quite fit, but it's close enough. I'll drop a lid on there. There we go. It's as simple as that. So we'll come back one last time in 10 minutes and then we'll be all done. Okay, our timer is about ready to go off to pull the potatoes off out of the oven. We'll take a look at them. They should be ready. The corn, as you can see, looks really good. I've already moved the ribs off to the side because they are done. So let's pull this out of the oven here. Oh yeah, look at this. That is fantastic. The cheese melted right on top like it's supposed to. So I can turn the oven off, turn the heat off on the corn. We'll let it sit for a little bit while we're getting ready to serve, and we'll serve right out of the hot water. It's that simple. These potatoes are fantastic. The only thing I forgot to get, I forgot to do, because I've got guests and it threw me off my normal schedule. I actually had fresh parsley. You chop up fresh parsley and put that on there before you put the cheese on there, and it would have been great. But now that it's done, I'm not going to bother. So I got to come up with a use for parsley now. Fun, huh? Now remember, if you want a chance to win dinner for 2 and guest appearance on the show, all you have to do is subscribe, and then in any of the shows, comment, "I want to win dinner." In another month or so, well, it's probably more like a month and a half, we're going to do the drawing, and all you have to do is be willing to come to Delavan and come to our place to get your prize. It's simple as that. And they're going to be eating our food, and they're going to prove that I'm a good cook by commenting on the show later. How awesome is that? So, and again, don't forget, sponsored by Piggly Wiggly, Steinberg's Piggly Wiggly. They have 4 locations. You can see all that information on the website. They take really good care of us, and their food is always good, and they're good people. So, once again, thank you for watching the show. I'm Funguy the Entertainer, cooking for you.